And so this verse is just a continuation of the previous verse. It's the same thought. All right. It's saying you're not allowed to sleep with your mothers. You're not allowed to sleep with your sisters. You're not allowed to sleep with your, da, 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 right?
So wait a minute. So in Islam, they do have some standards. You can't sleep with your
They
mother.
have some standards.
They got some standards. Okay.
They got something going for them.
Okay.
Right when you think it's getting good though,
Your kid,
something like this,
the
pop
old
up.
lady,
No,
doesn't matter. But your mama, that's where we draw the line at. Your mama.
that's where we draw the line. Kids, cool.
Okay.
Pork, no, and your mama, no. All right. Those things are haram. Those things are forbidden. So this is how Islam teaches you how to treat your women, your wives. Is that the religion that you want? We're not talking about how Islam is against Christ, is an anti-Christ religion in that it goes against the gospel. We already know that. It's actually a physical danger to those who are, within it, those who are around it, those who are, under its ruling. It is dangerous to those who are to your livelihood. Let's go to the next verse that we got. What else you got on there?
Is it 65:4?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Now this one, guys, this one is tough. This one is tough because this verse, guys, this is chapter 65, verse 4. Okay. Now the chapter is named divorce. It's teaching you how to divorce your wives and what you're supposed to do. Okay. I want you guys to pay attention. It says this, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. Let's break this down a little bit. So it's telling you what you are supposed to do when you divorce the woman, when she is eligible to go on to the next man. So the waiting period, that 3 months waiting period that she has, is supposed to be there to make sure she's not pregnant. Okay? So she's not pregnant, then she can move on to the next man. We're all good. So the first category are women who fear that they will no longer menstruate. They're too old. They hit menopause. Okay? They don't think they're going to have their periods anymore. Next one, if you doubt, then the period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated. Which one are these? What kind of females haven't menstruated? Corey, what would you call them?
That would be the Muhammad special, the Aisha type, right?
That's right. The Aisha type, the ones Muhammad like, them little ones. So you are, it says that they have the same waiting period. Yep. They have the same waiting period. When you divorce, you're divorcing a girl before she menstruated. And she has a waiting period to make sure she's not pregnant. What does this mean? This means that her husband slept with her. That's why she has a waiting period. Matter of fact, if you guys think I'm making this up, I gave you the verse that goes along with this, right? Chapter 33, verse 49. Go ahead and go there really quick. Because you guys are going to see.
Which one? 33:49?
33. Yeah, chapter 33.
Okay. They don't have, they should do a better job with their online. 33, yeah, which 33. One? Verse
33. Hold on. Go back to the chapter and go to, you're in chapter 39.
Oh, 33.
Yeah.
Verse 39.
Verse 49.
Okay, verse 49. Okay, There we go.
Guys, keep this in your bag. We're giving you guys these things so that you can see why Islam is disgusting, why it's demonic, and why you should, and when you get into conversations with Muslims, you can present these things to them just like how I'm giving it to you. Okay? You got to be, get familiar with this. Write this stuff down, take notes on this, screen record, whatever it is. Have this in your back pocket, okay?
Okay, hold on for a second, Avery. Hold on. Yeah. We need a timeout. That's disgusting. You know how low you got to be to divorce a kid, to want to marry her in the first place, and then divorce. You just
yeah, it's disgusting, man. Now imagine, Corey, because you said like it's tough for you to even converse with Muslims online like this because of how hard-headed they are. Imagine having a stream, Muslim after Muslim after Muslim defending this, trying to make excuses for it.
Wow.
Going, just practicing cognitive dissonance. They know it's wrong. They know it's disgusting, but they have to say, "Oh, there's wisdom behind this because they're Muslim." Oh, it's okay. It's because they're Muslim. They have to, So it's a tough spiritual battle that we're dealing with. All right, so guys, how do we know that these little girls are being slept with, not just married, because they might argue, oh, well, no, they're just drawing up a marriage contract. That doesn't mean they're consummating the marriage. It doesn't mean they're sleeping with them. No, here's the point, guys. Watch this. Chapter 33, verse 49. O you who have believed, when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have touched them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count concerning them. So provide for them and give them a gracious release. So what did this verse just say? This verse just said, if you are divorcing them without touching them, you haven't had sex with them, then they don't have a waiting period. They don't have to wait before moving on to the next man, because obviously she's not pregnant. There's no reason to worry about that, right? So the waiting period in Arabic is called the idda, I-D-D-A, the idda. And so we have this saying, it's, it goes, no idda, no hitter, man. no idda, no hitter. If she ain't got no hitter, you ain't no hitter, man. You ain't hit. So look, so what this is demonstrating, she only has a waiting period if you had sex with her, if you slept with them. So going back to 65:4, when we go back to 65:4, the older women, they have a waiting period. It's 3 months when they get divorced. And it's the same for the ones who have not menstruated. They also have a waiting period, meaning their husbands touched them. Their husbands slept with them before they even matured. Disgusting. Now, y'all might think I might be making this up, even though I'm just reading off the page, even though I'm just reading the verbatim scripture of the Muslims, right? I'm reading the Quran. Let's see what their popular commentators, if they explain it the same way that I do. All right, so go back to that really quick.
Sure. Okay.
Back up. I'm gonna show you how to use this one.
Okay.
That's why I like Quran X, because it's really easy. So you're gonna scroll down. You see where it says translations? You're gonna go right under that. You see where it says 65.4. Then next to that it says roots. Next it says tafsir. Click tafsir. That's where you're gonna get their commentary. Okay. All right. Now scroll down. We're gonna go to the second one. Let's go to the second one. Yep, that one right there. Okay. So these are their commentaries, and Muslims are heavy on their commentaries. They're heavy on their scholars. They take their scholars over Allah, over the word of Allah.
So when they talk about the different commentaries, are these the hadiths?
No, these aren't the hadith. The hadith are something else. The hadith are what you'll see Muhammad saying or Muhammad doing. So it'll be it's actually kind of similar to how the gospels are formulated. So where you have Matthew saying, and Jesus said, and Jesus went here, and then whoop like that. That's how the hadith kind of are.
Are they on par? Said this. Are the hadiths on par with the Quran?
They're right below it. So they're yes and no. And
so this right here that we're looking at right now, these are like the somebody study Bible commentaries.
Yes, these are the commentaries. Yes. Okay. And for them, their scholars are like right there. They got to interpret the Quran through their scholars. That's how they do it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they take a man's word. Yep. So this actually helps. This works in our favor a lot, because watch what it says. So these are two scholars here together. Guys, watch what the commentary says. It's really deep. Talking about 65:4, what we just read, how do they break it down? And as for those women who no longer expect to menstruate, if you have any doubts about their waiting period, their prescribed period shall be 3 months. And those who have not yet menstruated, why? Because maybe they're sick, maybe they have medical issues. No, those who have not yet menstruated because of their young age, their period shall be 3 months. So do you see? It's not me just making this up. It's not me having to misinterpret what the Quran says. Even their scholars acknowledge this is talking about kids, divorcing kids that you slept with. They have a waiting period. Let's keep going. Go down to the next one.
Oh, to the next commentary.
Yeah, this guy. Now this guy right here, for those of you guys watching this, for you too, Korg. This guy, his name is Ibn Kathir. He is one of their most popular, most authoritative scholars. All right. If you say Ibn Kathir is wrong or disagree with him, they're gonna laugh you out of the mosque. Okay, he's that authoritative. He's a big hitter. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they got to take what he says, especially in Sunni Islam. They got to take what he says. So watch, he's breaking it down. This is his breakdown. The iddah, remember the iddah waiting period of those in menopause and those who do not have menses, their menstruation. Watch what he says. Allah the Exalted clarifies the waiting period of the woman in menopause, and that is the one whose menstruation has stopped due to her older age. Her iddah, her waiting period, is 3 months instead of the 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based on the ayah or verse, chapter 2, verse 228. Watch what he says here. The same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. Their iddah, their waiting period, is 3 months, like those in menopause. This is the meaning of his saying, and he quotes the verse again, and those who have no courses, or those who have not yet menstruated. So their top scholars are, and when I say this, they're unanimous. Nobody disagrees with this. They are unanimous when it comes to the ability to marry, sleep with, and divorce little girls before they've even menstruated. That's allowed. Now, when it comes to their scholarship and how they deal with this, they'll have different opinions on when you can sleep with her. They'll say, as long as if you don't cause her pain, then you can go ahead and commence with the consummation. As long as you're not causing her pain when you do it. If it's too much for her to handle, then you should hold back and wait a little bit until she develops a bit more. That's how sick this religion is. Yeah. So you can beat your women and sleep with little girls. That's Quran, y'all. Quran. Yeah.
I mean, you say something, I'm at a loss of words. I really am.
This is Islam, man. See, we don't reject Islam because, oh man, we're just Christians. We hate Islam or Muslims. No, we love the Muslim people. We want you guys to have the gospel. We recognize that you guys are in this darkness, and look, this is what you're in. You are in a religion that promotes domestic abuse, promotes wife beating, and promotes sexual relations with children. That's wrong. That's obviously wrong. This is one of the most obvious false prophets in history. There's no way around.
Here's what's funny. Now, I don't know. Answer me this.
Yeah.
Do most Muslims even know or read their Quran?
No.
So that means that they certainly don't read these commentaries and the hadiths also. Huh?
Nope. The average Muslim doesn't know any of this.
I remember having a conversation, and you sit around a bunch of guys and guys want to kind of go back and forth. And so I'll never forget, they would always kind of want to make sport of the Christians in prison because, Christians were trying to be peaceful and so forth. But in prison, the Muslims are not. And so me, I'm going to go. You say whatever, I'm going to say it back. And so one day they said that, in prison, the sex offenders, that's low on the totem pole in prison, sex offenders. And so the comment was, Corey, you always, speaking for you the shot caller for the sex offenders, for the chomos. That's what they would say. And you always trying to say the sex offenders. I said, well, that must mean I'm trying to save you, right? What do you mean? I said, well, your leader, your daddy was a sex offender. Well, he wasn't charged because it was illegal for you to go ahead and mess with little kids. As a matter of fact, the only places in the world that I knew at the time that it was legal to marry a child were in Muslim majority countries. Yeah. So you all seem to perpetuate and love it. So you might want to stop talking about them because you're talking about Muhammad.
Yeah, you're talking about Muhammad. You're going against
Muhammad. Wanted to fight, but listen, it is what it is. And I don't even think that they knew. I certainly had never heard anyone bring this up. I've never seen these verses before.
Yeah, this is why I'm using the Quran to show you this, right? Because they like to play games when it comes to the hadith because it's not necessarily Quran. If it's in the Quran, because like, for example, Muhammad's marriage to Aisha, that's hadith. That's not in the Quran. That's hadith. Now, mind you, it's authoritative and it's like right there with the Quran, just the Quran's just above it. But so they'll play games like, oh, it's just that's hadith. Might not be authentic, and not everything is right in the hadith. Okay, well, what about your Quran then? In your Quran, it teaches this. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They might say, "Oh, well, when it comes to hadith, that Muhammad, he's the one who did that. That doesn't mean that it's just allowed. Like that was just for the prophet. No, this is for you too.
I mean,
You as a
it's in the
Muslim,
book.
you're allowed to do this
We're
in your
reading
book.
the book.
We're reading the book. So this is Islam is disgusting. So guys, chapter 4, verse 34,
Mm-hmm.
you can beat your wives. Chapter 65, verse 4, you're allowed to sleep and divorce little girls before they've menstruated.